There's a racial justice advocate who's gone viral thanks to our friend over there at Libs of TikTok. She's gone viral for explaining to her audience why showing up on time is white supremacy.
As a racial justice advocate, I'm often invited to give talks or to do workshops where I talk to white people about race. A big part of my practice is to offer real-life stories, examples, that type of thing, that help white people to be able to identify white supremacy in everyday life. My husband's family is white, and I often use the cultural differences between my family and his family as a way to help white people see their whiteness. There's one example that I use that always gets a ton of pushback. My husband and I were late to our first Thanksgiving with his family. I say late because it started at 12. We got there at 12:10. But whenever we got there at 12:10, everybody was already sat down and eating. I didn't know that. I use this illustration to point out that different cultures have different understandings of time, lateness, and what it means to be polite. Without fail, a white person will push back and say that lateness is impolite. I always use this as a teachable moment. I usually ask a series of pointed questions that challenge their assumptions. Sometimes it takes a lot of work. But by the end, they're able to identify how white cultural dominance works in this one small area of life, which opens the door for them to start peeling the onion.
Okay, we've all seen this video a million times. Not this exact video, but versions of this video with versions of this woman. So what's it about? Why? Why are people being so mean to the white people? Why is so? Now you're saying that just showing up on time is white supremacy? Why? Why is this woman doing this? You know why this woman's doing this? Because her white audience wants her to. That's why. Really, we cannot blame the black people, even the BLM activists, for this. They are giving their audience what they want. Who is this woman's audience? This woman's audience is liberal white people. Her job is to go to liberal white people and make them feel guilty, and then they pay her money for that. It's like a dominatrix who has a bunch of weirdo clients who want her to beat them up or so whip them with chains or something. That's what this is. And she gives the audience what they want. The customer is always right. This woman obviously doesn't hate white people because this woman's husband is white. Or at the very least, the woman's husband was adopted by a white family, right? She says, my husband's family is white, which means either he's white or he's adopted and he's culturally white. Either way, though, she's got a lot of familiarity with white culture and white people, and she involves herself in them. She probably spends most of her time with white people because the people she works with are white, and the people that she has her romantic life with are broadly white. So it's not that she hates that. She's mowing the flat catchers because they're asking her to. That's what this is really about. This is about a masochistic perversion. And, you know, we talk a lot about perversions in our culture because we live in a very perverted and decadent time. But this is just another example of it. This is just another example of people desiring something that is harmful to them, ultimately bad for them, but they want it anyway. Just like someone who's a bit fat wants more candy bars than he ought to have. Just like someone who is sexually decadent wants all sorts of sterile and hedonistic sexual activities. So too with the racial grievance. This is entirely about masochistic white people. If the white people stopped being masochistic, if the white liberals stopped feeling guilty for the color of their skin, this whole industry would disappear overnight. All of the BLM stuff, all the Georgia, it would disappear overnight. But it's still here because the audience wants it. Right now, go to policygenius.com/Knowles. No one likes to talk about life insurance, but it is incredibly important, and you need to include it in your financial planning this year. Start shopping now with Policy Genius. Policy Genius is where you go to get life insurance, period. Find the right policy to protect your family today. Give yourself the peace of mind that comes with knowing that if something were to happen to you, your family can cover all their expenses while getting back on their feet. It is the responsible thing to do. You have an obligation to do it, and it will help you sleep easier at night. Policy Genius's technology makes it incredibly easy to compare life insurance quotes from America's top insurers in just a few clicks. You already have a life insurance policy through work that might not offer enough protection for your family's needs. It may not follow you if you leave your job. You need a backup plan. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for $1 million of coverage. Some options offer same-day approval and avoid unnecessary medical exams. Policy Genius has licensed agents who can help you find the best fit for your needs. when they make it this easy, there is no excuse not to do it. Policy Genius works for you, not the insurance companies. They don't have any incentive to recommend one insurer over the other, so you can trust they are giving you the absolute best guidance. Save time and money. Give your family a financial safety net. Policy Genius. Right now, policygenius.com/Knowles, or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. policygenius.com/Knowles. A lot of people are scratching their heads over a Trump Truth Social post that came out yesterday. And it was a picture. Half the screen is Elvis Presley and half the screen is Donald Trump. And the tweet, it says, lots of people have said that I look a lot like Elvis. For so many years, many people have been saying that. What do you think? People are scratching. What? What is he even talking about? This is beyond policy. This is my favorite part of Trump's political style, because this kind of a post is funny, it's weird, and it's totally disarming. The libs have to respond to it. It drives them crazy. And they have to call him an idiot, and they have to call him distracted. But the thing that the libs are most upset about when it comes to these sorts of posts, and Trump makes them all the time, is that it makes it much harder for them to portray Trump as Hitler. This levity, this kind of bizarre little show, it makes it very hard. Hitler doesn't make a post like that. Hitler never does the picture where it's half Hitler, half Elvis, or half, I don't know. I don't know who the singer would be in those days. Half, I actually don't know who would be, the Mills Brothers or something. Probably not. That doesn't happen, right? Trump has this bit of levity. And this is something that a lot of the critics that Trump has driven mad don't really understand, is that they see Trump as being this totally narcissistic, self-serious guy. He's not self-serious at all. And even below that level of braggadocio, he puts his name in gold letters on buildings and he talks about how great he is. Below that, Trump seems to me to demonstrate more humility than most politicians. I was reminded of this when the Brett Kavanaugh hearing was going on. And remember Justice Kavanaugh, he was asked about a party he went to in high school when he was 16 or something. They said, "Did you drink beer in high school, Justice Kavanaugh?" And he said, "Oh, I like beer. Yeah, I drink beer." And they asked President Trump about this. And he gave what I felt was the perfect answer.
I can honestly say I never had a beer in my life, okay?
Right.
It's one of my only good traits. I don't drink. Whenever they're looking for something good, I say, I never had a glass of alcohol. I've never had alcohol. I've just, for whatever reason. Can you imagine if I had, what a mess I'd be? I'd be the world's worst.
It's a great line. And you hear a lot of those kind of lines from Trump, right? Which, I'm the greatest, I'm the smartest, only I can save the country. But then you get this bit, he goes, look, I can say I'm probably the only president who can say I've never had beer in my life. It's the only good thing you can say about me. It's my only good trait. Could you imagine if I had beer? I'd be the worst. Could you imagine, right? That's an example of humility. It's self-effacing. A lot of the braggadocio is just the New Yorkers are better able to spot this kind of thing from Trump. I remember in 2016 when Trump came onto the scene really as a prominent candidate, and everyone in the conservative movement hated him. Drew Clavin and I were two of the only people who said, "Oh, I don't know, he's kind of funny. I kind of like him." No coincidence, I think, that Drew and I both grew up in New York, and this is how New Yorkers talk. And it's fun. I like it. The Weird Elvis post, it reveals the man to be human. That post was not written by political consultants, okay? He was probably just batting it around one day. Even if it were written by political consultants, it's funny, it's weird, it's not the kind of thing that any other politician posts. It makes you think this guy's human. We know he writes his own tweets back when he was on Twitter. We know he writes a lot of this, all caps, the misspellings, talking about Mika Brzezinski's face. And you might say, well, that's not disciplined. It's not focused on the message. Yeah, whatever. At least I know I'm talking to a human being. And that goes a long way in politics. And whether you love the guy or whether you hate the guy, a lot of career politicians have tried to ape that style in recent years, unsuccessfully. That is a kind of political talent that you pretty much cannot learn. Man, what a great clip that was. Now, hold up. Hey, wait, stop. Ring that bell. Subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.